Good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are watching this Asian Mythology casted game. You there eating your lunch? I know that's when I would always like to watch a bit of a cast, and I still do. So if that's you eating your lunch, you're here, you're going to be watching Kyber in the Poseidon player in the blue as the Poseidon versus Illuminati as the Gaia in the red color, and we're going to be watching Step. Now, the reason I wanted to watch this, it's just one of my favorite matchups to watch. I know that seems silly because it's really Gaia favored, but I just think it means that Poseidon has to play completely different. And why I say it's Gaia favored is, if you think about it, what Poseidon wants to do, he wants to go in with Hippias, he wants to go in with the centaurs, and first of all, Gaia Lush heals up your citizens, so if something like a centaur comes in, does the splash damage, it just needs to move away, do something else, and it'll be full HP again. The other thing is, the Gaia Lush, if you get the upgrade of... Oh my god, what is the upgrade called? If you get the upgrade from the temple, which I'm absolutely blanking on. Anyway, we're going to see it later. It has to be through. It gets you extra speed on the Lush. So if you get some catapulties out, then you just absolutely wreck all of the Hippias. And it just means that your Hippias needs to do something else. It looks like Kyber here is trying to snipe the goats. It's like Illuminati is absolutely on it though. If I was Kyber, I would come back and give this one more go. And he is obliging. Illuminati's probably too good for that. Yeah, sometimes you can catch players out on that if they think, well, they're basically home. Kyber would come back, nab the 4 goats. But back to the Poseidon, it just means you can't play standard Poseidon. And that's what people say when they say it's not Poseidon favored, it's Gaia favored. Because if you just play both civs how you would naturally play, so Hippias on the Poseidon side, and then some form of Oceanus play from the Gaia, then the Gaia is going to come out on top. And it means Kyber needs to do something else. Now, he can go for a second town center. That's an option. He can even go Hermes, go for a second town center. But let's have a look. This town center has a gold mine, kind of. It's forward, though. That's not ideal. If the gold mine was like here or something like that, it would be a little bit better. But the map is steppe, so it's kind of unusual for that to happen. And his other town center is in the middle of nowhere. It has one boar. Oh, no, there's some boars that can be brought underneath. This one is okay, but it is close to the Illuminati base. This one is out the way. And would be nice if it did have... If this had some hunt on it, I think this could be worth grabbing. But I don't see this being the potential for Kyber. Unless he is a defensive Poseidon player. See, if we saw somebody like Mosca likes to play a defensive Poseidon when it's warranted. Not all the time, but he likes it. Divine is obviously the biggest proprietor of that defensive Greek play. And he would grab a second town center regardless of how good it is. But no, we do see the pickaxe coming through, which means no second town center. Why would you waste resources on that one when you need that 120 wood to build a town center? And it's also going Ares, which I love. I love seeing Ares against the Gaia. It just means the Gaia needs to do something else, because you get the Paspis in the classical age, which counter the units that are good against the horses, counters the Mamillo, it counters the Catapultes, which are the units that we said are very, very good. And Oceanus coming in, which is the standard choice for Illuminati. He wants those fast Catapultes to deal with all the Hippias. Even though Ares is in, I would still expect to see Hippias from Kyber. He needs to get some raids in. He doesn't need to, but, you know, it's just it's something. Why would you not want to get some raids in with Poseidon? Unless you've got a super defensive map, then maybe not. But this is Step. Step is, we can zoom out and see, wide open in the middle. Lots of room for roaming around with your horses. Military barracks, double military barracks coming up. So no counter barracks, which is where the Catapultes comes out from. So I guess it's a full Mamillo angle. Mamillo with Bite of the Shark do trade well into those Hippias anyway. But not as well as Catapultes. So Mamillo are the choice. They are better at raiding. If he wants to go for some kind of raiding party coming through, then that's what Illuminati might want. Also spreading the Lush nice and early with his manners. Love this cheeky wall coming down that can also become a gate. Just making sure that the raiders don't come through. And what's Kyber going for? Done the same. Of course, the map is steppe, so there's a big chance of you getting a forward gold mine. And both players have them, which is why they're building around it. If you don't do this and there's some form of aggression coming your way, then you're just going to be, well, you're going to be caught with your pants down, and you're probably going to lose a villager, or at least get a lot of idle time. Wooden gate in, and Kyber spots that one and sees double military barracks, which is exactly what it's up against, and the citizens for this side going over. Galadriel going to be having a look from Illuminati. He's going to be seeing what Kyber's up to. He's like, is he grabbing something? So we can see he's grabbing Sword of Dread, but there'll be no Hippaspis out while the Galadriel run through, and he does see the one stable. So one stable doesn't mean full Hippias, but could be something. I like that he's just doing a proper circle around. No horses on his side just yet. Just one blue dot is the goat. And I imagine he's going to spot a military academy somewhere. No, second stable. Did he just whiff the military barracks? Where is it? It's here. Sure, he's going to spot it. No, it's right here. He doesn't see the stones. That's just a little bit of a spectator bug thing where, because we've seen it from Kyber's perspective, it then drops the stones underneath when the military academy goes down. But actually, Illuminati doesn't know there's military academies at all. Until now, he spots it. So he spots there's one going down. He doesn't know this one's down, but he knows that Kyber wants to get them. So, and now it does spot it indeed. The hero Mamilo coming across, and it looks like academy probably going down unless some Hippaspis can come over and stop this one. You need more than one Hippaspis though, because the Galadriel is going to slow this guy down and heal up everything else, but does manage to pull away the low HP dude as well. So was going to say, could be in for a bit of trouble with this one, but no, going to be fine. Hippaspis are going to scare the Illuminati units away, and that's exactly why he went for this. It's a little bit of an investment. I think it does also give them more damage. Yes, it does. It's 15 favor, so if you want to go Cyclops, then it does take away basically one Cyclops. Oh, okay, the Cyclops were hiding in the temple. He's going full Kavoth on this one. Now he's running to the back. Yeah, something that you do have to do with these Cyclops. You can't hide them forever. It's something that I've noticed, because I've tried to do this kind of hiding style where you hide myth units from your opponents so they don't build heroes. But if you like to collect the relics, like Kyber does and like I do, then it's a little bit troublesome, because you could only fit 2 Cyclops in with these 3 relics, which is why he's popped them out early to where he would have preferred a surprise. But heroes increase damage as they lose HP, which is nice to keep away from Illuminati. If he's going some heroes up against your Cyclops, you definitely want to take that away from him. Wall regen is just a relic. It's just a relic that gives you favor, basically. And trainable myth units do give you some more favor when you die, which the Cyclops gives you favor. I guess it's okay. You don't want to be losing them, but it's a relic. And what does Illuminati get? He got Armor of Achilles, Infantry. Infantry are better against hack. Okay, that's insane for the Mamilo. I can see why he went that. And Channels is the upgrade, which is Lush, movement speed 15%. And what do we see this side? So 3 hero Mamilos. Does he know about the Cyclops? I don't know if he does. But you expect the Cyclops, right? You don't expect just full Hippaspis. The Caraballis are in for the Hippaspis, of course they are. Also some Atalanta Hippias shenanigans happening around the outside. See when the red starts to show up, see if either of these players are going to get some damage done. But the Cyclops upgrade going to be in Will of Kronos. Just, ooh, looks like they're trying to snipe oracles, but Illuminati absolutely on that one. Will he be able to get back in time? Maybe there's a Galadriel, but there is a mana to escape into, and some medium Mamilos. Going to be trying to shank down some of these citizens, but we said the raids, they are pretty difficult against Gaia, with all these manas about as well. Illuminati probably not going to be... Oh, looks like he's going to lose one villager, kind of big, as long as Kyber doesn't lose anything else on the back end. Loses one Hippias for a citizen, you'll take that for sure. This is basically 2 villagers going down for 1 Hippias. Definitely big win for Kyber. He will be happy with that one. And does get out of there. Oh, unless if you were to lose all these units though, it's a little bit rough. Even just a couple more would be rough. You want to kill the villagers with minimal investment, otherwise you're in danger of losing the fights. Villagers going down helps you in the long run, but for right now, you don't want to lose your units. And just some dodging, ducking, weaving, and Kyber does manage to get out of there. An Elder Cyclops. Still 3 of them, but it looks like there is a 4th boy coming out very, very soon. When does Kyber just hit the go button on this? Do you just wait for full pop? Do you wait till you spent all your favor? They are expensive. They are only 150 food. But favor-wise, they are kind of pricey, and looks like he is just going full for it. Hippaspis, Cyclops. I honestly don't think Illuminati's seen it yet. He has some heroes, though. The Caraballister are going to be really nice against those infantry units, though. Looks like some Hippias get spotted. He's doing a nice job of scouting with the Caladria. It'd be criminal if he doesn't spot this, to be honest. With how active he's been. Basically using this as a Pegasus and also getting some walls up to secure himself double gold mine plus town center. Hippias on this side. Ooh, does he spot it? No. Ooh, this is just a random Caraballister, but Caraballister will take out Hippias? Hippaspis? Hippias? They have such similar names. God damn it. Anyway, still hasn't spotted them. Kaiba's done a really good job of hiding these so far. Unless I'm just moving to Illuminati's perspective at the wrong point. But I don't think he knows, because there's no more heroes out. You could make some just full hero Mamillos if that's what you want to go for. You could even just do a couple of Caraballister heroes. Wouldn't be a bad idea. As they do big DPS. Illuminati, how many eco upgrades does he have? This is always what you got to be up against with the Gaia. Always got to be cognizant of is Bowsaw Shaft Mine. He has heroic age upgrades in the classical age because that is Gaia's bonus. You do have access to those. Illuminati will spot the Cyclops coming forward. Does Kaiba spot that army? His army's kind of blind because he doesn't have any archers in it. Whereas the Caraballister, they got range, so they've got a lot more line of sight. All the Hippias over here. Do we just see heroes? Yeah. I just think you have to. He's getting frontline heroics, which is the cheaper infantry. But yeah, a couple of Caraballisters. 5 is a lot. They're really expensive to convert to heroes. But obviously, because they're expensive, they are exceptionally strong. Your micro and just army positioning, though, has got to be absolutely on point if you are Illuminati here. Maybe even just building a couple of catapulties, having them sat next to your Caraballister so that when the Hippias come on, there's some sort of defense for them. Maybe even just the Carnivora to sit on the Caraballister would be an option. But this is, I don't know whether Kaiba can... Ooh, okay. I was going to say, I don't know whether Kaiba can attack, but he's got 9 of these Cyclops. And he thinks this is time to go. I don't know. Is he right? That's the question. Not if all these Hippias are chasing one Mamillo. That's definitely not the case. Caraballister. I mean, he doesn't know the army's here, but you would assume that's where they keep coming from. Cyclops can tear down buildings exceptionally quick, though. Look at them go. Whacking their hammers or their bats. Clubs. They're probably called bats. Anyway. Hippias and Hippaspis. The Wombo combo. And Kaiba's got a good army here, but it is just countered by heroes. And Illuminati's going all in on these heroes. Absolutely all in. But I guess as Kaiba, you can just go, well, I just attack with everything else, leave the Cyclops at home? Maybe? It's just such a big investment. There's so many resources. And this wall here is rough for Kaiba to fight into. I just think he just needs to go somewhere else. This is such a good defensive setup. You don't want to fight where the Caraballister are right now. You want to fight where the Caraballister have to kind of waddle their little butts over. Because they are strong lads. They're big units. So they take a while to get over here. Even on the Lush, they're 4.7 speed, which would mean they're 4.3 speed probably without it. So kind of slow. Compared to Hippias and things like that. Illuminati trying to just get all the upgrades in. Just trying to get very, very strong units. Great option to get copper armor and shields. As with the heroes, it does boost them even more. So those upgrades are even stronger. Look at one volley of Caraballister shots. Actually on the Lush. That's wild. They're quick enough to scare off the Elder Cyclops and get some pop shots off on them. Kaiba needs to bring his units over, though. His Hippaspis, Orion, the Hippias are the ones that are over there. The horses are out of position completely. And Illuminati just gets some free shots with his Caraballister. That is not ideal in the slightest if you're a Poseidon fan. But Dionysus on the way. More Cyclops coming in. Elder Cyclops go up to Heavy Cyclops is what I like to call them. When they get up to the next stage, they get a little bit of a boost of HP and damage. And Poseidon gives them 0.1 more speed. So, not really a big deal for the Cyclops, mainly for what are they called? Centaurs. Got Hippaspis on the brain. Is it Hippaspis or is it Hypaspis? I've heard some people call them Hypaspis, but that sounds strange. But maybe that is the call. Anyway, military barracks coming up as a bit of a ghost building, and even drops the pestilence. Kyber may be thinking that Illuminati's heading to the next stage because he is, which is the case. Bronze could have been a big bronze attack. Maybe that's what he was thinking of, going for the pestilence to stop the arrow fire, get rid of the reinforcements, and just go for a big bronze push, but deciding against it. Maybe it's worth getting heavy first. Maybe that's what he wants. Does have some bronze upgrades of his own, or copper upgrades of his own, sorry. Bronze not available yet for Illuminati. Will be available for Kyber now if he wants it. Going into maybe bronze. I don't know, which deals more damage, the Mamilos or the Kyribalisa? Probably Kyribalisa. Getting some shields upgrades wouldn't be a bad shout. Illuminati even going stone gates. Like, he is playing this one super defensive. But I'm surprised he hasn't dropped a town center, whereas Kyber dropped this one not too long ago, and he's going for a third one. So he's thinking, with all these walls and everything, this game's going a little bit later, at least a few minutes more than it would be if there was one TC apiece. So he's thinking, all right, slow it down a little bit. I know I've got a sick army here, so wait for Illuminati to come to me almost, because he has Kyribalista. I can't really push that position unless I catch them out, which on the Lush, so difficult. The good thing is he's not a Rano, so Rano's ones are even slipperier because you can go through the sky passages. They're not as quick, but the sky passages, they can just garrison inside. Kyber, he's trying, but Illuminati too quick, too strong on that one. And I think Illuminati needs to spread this Lush around a little bit more. Cyclops, distraction action. I just think they're going to all lose their lives here. We saw how much damage these Kyribalista do, how quick they are as well. I just don't know whether that's worth it. We'll be able to retreat. But where are the blue units? They're just nowhere to be found. Just the Cyclops being sent to their deaths almost. That is rough. Absolutely rough. Illuminati does spot the town center though, and the Kyribalista are out of position now. Maybe that was the whole plan. Sacrifice your Cyclops to then take out these expensive Kyribalista. Illuminati trying to move them in the best way to get them tucked in so that the frontline Mamilo can stand there, but you're in the middle of the open here. There's not much you can really do as soon as these counter infantry come in as well. Hydra going to get taken, but I imagine there's a hero. No, there are no heroes out for Kyber, so that's a pretty big steal, but it doesn't matter. All those hero units going down. Cyclops traded for hero units. I would call that even. Maybe the issue is that Illuminati has no units out now. So even on, no, it's got to be favoring Kyber, right? Because that's all his normal units going down plus the hero investment. No, it's got to be favoring Kyber for sure. But losing Cyclops doesn't feel good with how expensive they are. Did any survive? That's a shame. They got some good damage on the buildings. But heroes be too strong, apparently. Nerf those heroes. Operation Horses, lifesteal for our Poseidon. And I think Kyber's just in a good spot, especially with the Double Town Center as well. That off the back of that, he can just keep producing units. I think he doesn't really have much to push though. Illuminati did do a good job of sniping those Cyclops. That, as we said, they're siege weapons, really. They're not just like the Petropolis where they're quite weak. The Cyclops are also kind of tanky when they're not heroes. No heroes around, so they can just push through places very, very nicely. Settlement trying to come up over here. I think Kyber just sniffed that one out. What he might have done is clicked to actually drop the town center and seen that Illuminati's grabbing it. It's one of these little things that was just never patched, where if you're Kyber and you go to drop a town center, you can't afford one, but it will basically not let you build it. It will put a village center next to it, and you go, oh, okay, that means Illuminati's grabbing a town center. It's one of those, you know, little glitch kind of bugs that it's so minor that you're never going to fix it, but it does give you a slight advantage if you want to just be clicking around where the town centers are. Very minimal, but saves you a scouting trip, I guess. Stone Gates going down. One counter to Stone Gates. It's an expensive counter, but Mythic Age, and then you get your big upgrade that he doesn't have because he's not in the Mythic Age. This one here, Siege Engineers, because then it basically explodes the walls. It's quite violent, but you definitely need that one. If there's a player like this that's just full walling, it's an amazing counter to it. If you're up against someone like a defensive Odin or defensive Loki player or something that goes Heimdall, then it's an option for you. Obviously a late game option, but you can deal with them at some point, being the key factor. Illuminati just needs to get over here, I think. Deal with those Petropolis. He's respecting them quite a lot because he knows that Kaiba's army is just massive. And Helu needs to get over here. I like that Kaiba's not overbuilt units either. A lot of players would be sitting at the 205 population, but he wants his full villager numbers up to 100, which is, of course, what he wants. Milo coming in, Catapulties as well. Illuminati does have some good units to take out these blue ones. There's the Hippias counter, Hippaspis counter, Behemoth to take out the town center. Issue is that everything is on the town center. Again, nothing protecting the Kyriballister, nothing protecting the archers. Stable is going to be in the way, I guess. the Hippias trying to get through, take out everything. Economic yield coming up. I think that would have been nicer just a little tiny bit earlier, just for that extra speed to get around with these Catapulties. Would have been nice. Behemoth's tanking up pretty nicely, though. There is a Theseus, Atalanta. They are now in, and Atalanta's going to be dealing with those, no problem. And I think just a little bit too keen to take that town center out. If he just went up with the Behemoths, let them do their job, and then sat back with his archers, I think he would have been in a better spot there. But now there's just a big sea of blue, and the red is getting lost in it and has to run away. And it is parting the seas, though. Look at this, getting away. Gaia Lush is insane. Look at that. Being able to get out, be healed. Economic yield coming in clutch, even though it was probably 30 seconds too late, but it did help getting away. Not as big a Kaiba win there as it could have been. But of course, the Petropolis coming through. I imagine there's stuff going up on this side there. Here's Behemoth does take out the fortress. Poseidon fortresses do have militia inside, so there is going to be something to play with for our blue player here. Illuminati Palace coming down. Got another gold mine. Loads of things around the town center. And another fight coming through. Arcus on the Petropolis, though, not ideal. Sometimes attack move does that. It will just pick out the one you really don't want. Sometimes it picks out buildings in the moment, but we won't talk about that. I think the Catapulties again just getting a little bit caught out. Earthquake going to be coming through for Kaiba. Completely missed that one. Perhaps was turn and burn, turn and slash those Catapulties. Now they're being tasked onto the Hippias, and the Earthquake going to be in the main base. If there was a Mythic Age coming through, it is pre-queued. If there was a Mythic Age coming through, it puts a stop to that one. If it was in the main base, which a lot of players do, that's what they like to do. It just, if you hit your town center button, it just defaults to the first town center that you put up. So, nice steal of the Chimera, though. That could be a big unit to deal with a lot of these tanky Greek ones. But if you probably want to play around Earthquake and Meteor and things, you could just hit it a couple more times and go to your back one, or even just select it down the bottom. But a second Bronze, second Pestilence, that is insanely expensive. That's 200 favor used in the space of just a couple of seconds, but it means the palaces aren't fighting back. There's no destroyers coming out of these things. Nothing coming through for Illuminati, and the champion Hippias as well with Thracian horses. Damn, they're good. Could even get some Podromus out at this point if he really wants to deal with the Cantarius. You don't want to overbuild them, but they do have the Ares upgrade for the divine damage, so they're just better against everything. Divine damage, of course, being the true damage for this game. Got to make it sound fancy. And Age of Mythology-esque. Even the villagers coming in for a little bit of shank action. And Carnivora getting dropped. Is that the first Carnivora or the second one? What does it cost each time? Oh, 20 plus 5, so it is the second one. Does come in. Swallows a couple of units whole. I think the Kaiba units are just too scary here. How is it going up the top side? Destroyers are stopping this gold mine. That's the second fortress that they managed to destroy. It's always the issue against Poseidon in these late game situations, though, is that the militia just pop out, and militia are fine against most siege weapons in the game, unless they're myth units, realistically. This is a good choke point for these archers if they're going to be winning any fights in the lush, behind some military barracks, but I just think there's not enough of them. Kaiba thinks there is, though, and he is just going to back up ever so slightly. And rather than spamming units like a lot of players do, he's getting all these upgrades in. Iron shields, iron armor, knowing that he doesn't have to deal with it now. He's in a good position as Poseidon's still in the heroic age here, which is a little bit rough for him. And gold mine secured. How is the Kilo gold mines? That is going to be his main issue. He's got 0 gold income at the moment. This is what he's been fighting so hard for. Can, of course, set up trade, but I don't know whether that's an option at this point. Would have had to have been there a little bit sooner. Looks like he is just going to be selling. What's the sell rate at the moment? The sell rate is okay. It does go a lot lower than this, so can sell for the meantime. He also has an abundance of gold for the time being, but it's surprising in 26 minutes in how quickly that gold goes. And they are up on this top side. Kaiba would spot that, though, with the buildings. Yes, he does. Whether or not he's paying attention to it is the other thing, because he's definitely on this bottom side. So this is going down. And always worth a snipe of the Heliopolis. You can try and trade 1 for 1. Take out the one Heliopolis with the god power. Take out the other one with the other Heliopolis, but Illuminati doesn't really have anything for the Heliopolis. That is his issue right now, is he's on this defensive grind, which means he wants lots of archers. Even against the counters like Hippias or something like that, they are good. Unless it's Peltas, then they struggle. The issue is that they don't take out siege weapons well at all. 682 HP, 90% pierce armor. It means they're doing like 1 damage a shot, basically, up against those. So 682 shots in there takes a solid while with your 44 archers. Of course, if there's nothing else to attack, then the Heliopolis go down regardless, but the idea is if there's some units with it, then the units can kill your archers while they're trying to kill the Heliopolis, is the idea. But town center down. I don't know whether we'll be able to get it back. Oh, such a close wall going up there, but military barracks got stopped, wall got stopped. The Hippias raid was a nice one. And where does Kilo go from here? I think he just needs to put in a Hail Mary to get this town center back up. And then maybe do something over here. He's getting a watchtower in. These are Kaiba gates, though. He can just run in if he wants to. Can delete them if they're even in the way. If that's what he wants to do. This is in the way, he can just delete it, but just deciding it's not worth it. Need to come back down here. This is a win condition. There's 2 win conditions here for Kaiba. It's get rid of that settlement, go forward to 2 TCs up. Then the other one is stopping that gold mine. You can try and do both, or you can just zero in on one. Is an option. And then the other one is just clearing this army and just steamrolling through with all your horses. And the archers, they're trying their best to get in a favorable position for them, but not quite quick enough. Settlement going to be going down as well. And I think this is the push that Kaiba needed. Carnivora getting dropped down will be able to swallow one of those whole and deal some damage, but even Kaiba just turns onto that one. nice bit of micro. It's harder than it looks. That's why these ones get caught. Definitely, you can only fit 2 units in there, so you've got to be so my buttons T. You just spam T as quick as you can. But with 40 odd units, it is difficult. But I imagine, yeah, Villager's going to be coming down here. And just a well-played game by Kaiba. It's what I mean about this matchup is you can just see how difficult that start of the game was for Kaiba. He really did have to think about it. Had his what they called Cyclops that just didn't get the value that Cyclops usually get, especially en masse like that, but distracted with them really nicely to then just win the fight up against those hero units. Big investment from Kilo, and then the nice gold star as well. Tough matchup, but he played it well.